Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you, all right? So check this out. I appreciate all of that birthday love, man. And so in this video, what I want to talk about, I want to give y'all some perspective, some insight, and I want to talk about this right here. I get this question quite often, and the question is, how long does it take to become profitable, right? So I want to dive into this question right here because it's very important. Now, we're going to get right into it. Y'all know I don't like wasting time. I like just getting straight into it. So the first question, if you ask how long until I become profitable, that's not the right question to ask. Let me tell you why. Because then what happens is you start to correlate a time with profitability, and that's it, right? So if I tell you, hey man, it's gonna be 8 months until you're profitable, right? What happens is once the eighth month hits, you like, where my millions at? And it's like, okay, let's look at your actual day-to-day for that 8 months that you were doing the work. If you were even doing the work, you can't just let 8 months go by and you ain't done the work and you think that just because 8 months went by, you're going to be profitable. It don't work like that, right? So that's not the right question to ask, okay? The right question to ask is, what do I need to do to make this happen? That's the real question, okay? Because some people, it may take 6 months to be profitable. Some people, it may take 2 years, some people 5 years, okay? Your pride, your ego, right? Those things are gonna rear its head, and depending on how deep your pride is and your ego is, that can make your journey way longer than what it needs to be, right? So what I want you to start thinking about is this: what we're gonna focus on: phases, okay? Phases. I want you to think about phases. So what are the phases that I need to go through in order to get to profitability? Now, the first phase, and this is in no particular time limit, you just gonna have to learn. So I wish that I had this philosophy in the beginning. Number one, start with a small amount, $1,000, $500, $1,500, okay? From there, you're gonna be in a learning phase. Or no matter how much you start with one contract per trade. And then I would start with the ETF like IWM, okay? Because those contracts are only $30. So what I would do is I would start my first phase, my phase one, with however much money I have, but I would start it with one contract, okay? Because you're going to have to learn. And if you don't understand how this game go, and you start with 5K, you about to get cooked unless you got somebody that's really teaching you how to make this happen. Okay, so that's the first thing. You want to start to understand why you're getting into trades, why you're getting out of trades, why you're staying in trades. If you don't know these things, then you aren't fully ready to size up. You get what I'm saying? Because what is the point of making money in the stock market, but you don't know why you made the money, how you made the money? You get what I'm saying? If you need to paper trade, do that first. Because in this learning phase, you're going to be getting familiar with your platform, figuring out how to get in and out of these trades, all of the small things, okay? When I first started, I was not doing it like this, right? And I wish I was, because I would have lost less money in the beginning. But I wish I would have started paper trading first. But I was trying to get to it so fast. And then I got humbled and I got smacked. Right? And I was like, all right, I'll do what I need to do. Right? So the first phase is about learning. Now, some people, it may take a year to be in that phase, right? Also, your schedule. If you're swing trading and you only taking a couple trades a month, right? This might take longer. This learning phase, you could make money, but your learning phase may take longer, right? You can make money, but if you don't fully understand what's happening, then that period is going to take longer, okay? So then we go after the learning phase, we got the next phase. And that's like you are going to start to be shown your habits, and you're going to have to overcome your habits, whatever these habits are. Okay? Are you a big overtrader? Are you a big revenge trader? Do you not know how to get out of trades, right? Not technically, but psychologically, right? Are you holding on to trades too long? Are you letting green trades go red? Okay? That is that next phase that you're going to have to get over. Now, this phase is where most people are spending their time, right? And so when we're talking about how long does it take to become profitable, we got to ask ourselves, how long does it take to overcome ourselves? That's the real question. That's the real question. Somebody come up to me and say, how long is it going to take me to see some real money? I'm going to be like, how long is it going to take you to get over your ego? How long is it going to take you to get over your pride? How long is it going to take you to start admitting when you're wrong? And you see what I'm saying? Because the stock market and learning how to trade and invest is going to put up a mirror to who you are and what your habits are. So you have to understand that you have to go through this phase right here. You have to figure out and pinpoint what's really holding you back. Because trading is going to show you what's holding you back in your actual life. Not just the stock market, but your actual life. Right? So when you understand, okay, I learned the platform and the technicalities, right? Now I learned how to how to overcome myself, right? And get over my habits, right? That's one of the most important pieces and phases right there, is getting over yourself, getting over your habits, your bad habits, right? And learning how to focus on what's really working and what works for you. Is it day trading? Is it swing trading? Is it scalp trading? Knowing what your schedule is. Your schedule is going to dictate what type of trades you need to be taking, right? So we got the learning phase. That's just, the entry level. And then we got the ugly level, the level that's going to make you in the trenches, right? So that's the level that I feel like people either they break through this level right here, or they reject off of this resistance, right? And then they go back and then they quit. I want you to look at each level like a resistance level, right? We got support and resistance. Support holds you up, and resistance is stopping you from going up. If you could break through each phase, each level, if you could break through, right, that resistance, you will get to the next level. So if you can break through the learning phase, then you're going to get through to the phase where you overtrading, you revenge trading, and you got bad habits, right? And then what's going to happen is, if you can break through that phase, you're going to get to that next phase. And this phase is more so like understanding what your actual strategy is, right? Is it reversals? Is it rejections? Is it, the 13 and the 48 EMA, right? Is it the strap method? Like, what is your strategy? Okay. Is it day trades? Is it swing trades? A lot of times people spend a lot of time in this category, right? In this phase as well. Refining your actual strategy. And then journaling, right? That's a big thing right there. Is journaling, right? Back testing. That's another part of it, right? Going back in all your trades and being like, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I did right. Let me write that down. Let me take a note. And then when you see that same setup next time, you know what to do, right? So this phase right here is extremely important. Refining your strategy, because you can make money in the stock market as a newbie, but not know your strategy, right? But you can understand what you're seeing. So you could take 200 EMA rejections, bounces going to the upside every day. But if you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know why it's happening, then you haven't got to the strategy refinement phase yet, right? So I was at this place for a while. I remember in the beginning, I was like, I like rejections, right? And that was my thing. But then as I got more mature, I started to understand, okay, I want a bigger expected move. I don't want to just make a quick rejection and that's it. Like, how can I maximize my opportunity in the stock market? Right? Got serious about the strat method. Been hearing about it for a while. Got super serious about the strat method, right? Then I locked in on that. Tripled my profits per trade, right? So that's where we at. So I was already profitable with what I was doing, right? I hit profitability and was able to hit, my first $40,000 month in 11 months in less than a year, right? But even with that, I was always trying to elevate my game and I was always trying to refine my whole process. So even though I was making money, I was like, is there a more efficient way to do this? So I feel like I'm always in that strategy refinement period, right? Or that phase. I'm always trying to refine my strategy because I truly do believe that nobody is just perfect and just has it all figured out. There's always something that I'm trying to get better, or I'm trying to make a little bit better, make a little bit more organized, right? Make it a little bit more cleaner. Always. Okay. So that's that refinement phase right there. And then the last phase is really just the breakthrough. Right? It's really the breakthrough. And the breakthrough is like the consistency over time. It's the consistency over time. Right? So this is why I say you don't really want to focus on how long it's going to take. Because if I tell you 2 years, you may in your mind have that down. But you could have got to that the same result in 1 year, right? So I want to focus on telling you what needs to happen and things that you should focus on, rather than sitting here saying, okay, it's going to take you 18 months. No, right? And I'm not saying expect to, strike gold in 3 months. That ain't how this works. But if you can get there faster, you can. And when I say that, what I mean is, if I don't tell you a time range and I just give you the actual things to do, somebody who's serious about this, they're going to be obsessed. They're going to go all in and they're going to be able to get the information faster. They're going to get that information faster. They're going to understand the information. They're going to implement. They're going to execute, and they will naturally get to their goal faster. Right? But if you just moseying through it and taking your time with it, it's going to take you longer. But one thing is for certain, right? If you never give up, you will get where you want to go. And another thing is, don't be that trader who is only looking for call outs. Do not be the trader who's only looking for call outs, because you're not learning the actual game. You are not learning the game. You want to learn the game. You want to learn how this goes. You want to learn how this operates. You want to learn the actual machine. Because when you understand the machine, you can operate the machine. And if the machine is broken, you could fix it. You see what I'm saying? So stop worrying about how long it's going to take and focus on what you need to do and who you need to become in order to experience the things that you want to experience, and you will get there faster than you was thinking. I hope that made sense. It's not about how long is it going to take me to be profitable. It's not about that, right? It's about what do I need to do and who do I need to become. I promise you, that's the key. That's how you do it. That's how you make it happen, right? So stop focusing on the how long and focus on what's the evolution process that I need to subject myself to and open myself up to. And when you focus on the transformation and the maturation within yourself, that's how you get there. I'm telling you this because I've been through it. And now I'm trying to get to my next level and my next level and my next level, right? So I hope that made sense, y'all, and I hope that helps you out, all right? Like I always say, make sure you get up out of your head and go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live, all right? And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry, all right? I appreciate y'all time. I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. Peace.